What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the Dragon Girl NFT launch and how I think it highlights VEVE's diversity in their collectible range. But before we do this, if you enjoyed this video then please consider dropping a like and subscribing if you're new around here. Now, launching today as of the 13th of May 2021, we're going to be having Simone Legno's first ever sort of artist launch into the VEVE collectible range. Now, I think this highlights a variety of different things that I think VEVE are doing, one of which highlighting artists, I think breaking out into the more wider range of the NFT collectibles that we're seeing outside of the VEVE space. And seeing what Simone Legno is actually doing with attaching his name to the particular launch, I just think highlights that diversity within this particular collection. But also, if we go down, we can actually see, by the way they actually look and the design and feel, this is definitely, in my opinion, more catered towards an Asian audience, but also an older audience as well. And it's more statue-like, whereas in the other NFTs we've seen them more like action figure style. This is a bit more like a statue, which I think is interesting to see. It's something I believe in the showroom you could say it's something you'd have sat on a table, or it's going to have its own showcase inside your showroom. And I do believe this being the first ever artist and the first series of this artist, that this is going to be a very, very desirable launch. And I'm personally going to try and get involved with it. My strategy is just to try and get hold of something. I think we're going to really struggle here because of the total minted, but I'll touch upon that a little bit later in the video. But let's just go through and have a look at the actual design work here. I think they've done a really beautiful job of it. If you go through, one of my, I think the favourite design for me is the silver and black. I just really like the black dragon in Asian culture. I just think it's a really interesting style, and I think this just looks really cool. And if you go through, I do like the metallic as well, and then obviously the ultra rare is going to be very difficult to get hold of. 888 editions. I think this one's going to be a very expensive NFT long term, but if you can get hold of it, congratulations. But I think what we're seeing here within VEVE launching this is the fact that they want to cater for more than just one demographic, one audience. You know, we've seen them launch, and I'm going to compare this quickly to cryptkins. If you look at the cryptkins launch, this was a very different style of NFT, not just by the actual design itself, of it being more child friendly and bringing more a younger demographic, a younger audience to sort of come in and enjoy the collectible. But I also think it highlights the fact that, you know, they have higher editions. You know, this was catered towards a more mass appeal product, which is definitely something that we need to consider when we look at the overall picture that I think VEVE are trying to paint here. Is that some of their launches are going to be catered towards the mass audience, a younger audience, and then some of their launches are going to be catered towards actual collectors, looking to actually sort of design and create these NFTs that are going to be for sort of different cultures and different age ranges, which is interesting to see, because if we scroll through the cryptkins launch here, you know, $6.99, the entry point was low. You know, and this meant that more people get involved with it. And with them minting around 75,000 different NFTs, we could see that, but in this particular launch, they were looking for volume. And I think that was more to touch upon them actually testing their servers out and delivering more NFTs and products. And I touched upon this in my previous video. So if you haven't seen that, then be sure to go check out the previous video. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I think that's what this highlights here. And what I'm going to do quickly is actually show you the data and the numbers as well, to show that in this particular launch, it's actually going to make more money than, sorry about, let me turn my sound off my phone. It's actually going to generate more money in the, with fewer minted NFTs. And I think this will also sort of go hand in hand with the sort of long-term investment style of what this NFT will produce over time. Because if you can see here from the data that we pulled out from the cryptkins launch, you know, they generated 605,000 in cumulative sales on this particular launch, and that was with over 74,800 different NFTs offered. Highlighting what I was saying previously, that this was definitely catered towards a more wider audience. But if we come back onto the Dragon Girl launch, we can see there's about 14,500 different NFTs, and the total revenue generated by this, if all of it was to sell out, and I believe it will, is closer to $900,000, highlighting not only the higher value to the collectible itself, but also the total amount of revenue generated from this particular launch is going to be it's actually more than sort of 30 to 40% higher than the previous. And to see that there's a lower mint here, I think this will be a stronger long-term investment. But also, like we said, like I touched on previously, I think this is definitely catered towards a different audience and a different collector. which is important for us to see here. You know, with the long-term vision, the long-term scope of VEVE, we want them to cater for a variety of different people. You know, this particular launch is definitely more catered towards, I'm more interested in this. The reason why is because of the exclusivity. I also think because it's a first run of an artist, I think it's going to be significant for VEVE moving forward. It's a season 1, which makes it interesting. It's a low mint, which also makes this an interesting launch. But also the actual design as well and the cultural difference. I think this will be it's a very unique artist piece. And I want to touch upon that quickly about how we're going to see this moving forward. You know, this is 100% a more art style NFT compared to the more child-friendly NFT we've seen within previous launches. Now, this won't cater to everybody, but there is an audience inside of here that can appreciate the more premium element of the NFTs being launched here. And I think that's definitely something we need to communicate and touch upon. Because moving forward, when we look at the overall picture that VEVE are trying to do here, for them to continue to sort of push themselves into these different marketplaces to sort of bring in outside sectors, and like I said in previous videos, going to 2D art, this is more statue style but more high premium level NFTs that we've seen, like for example in the Ghostbusters launch. You know, in those statues that they created, they have extremely high value now because of the low mint numbers, the rarity, but also the design as well. And I think we'll definitely see this within VEVE moving forward, is that they're going to release these sort of not Easter eggs is the wrong word, but these lower minted, lower and more higher value NFTs, because each individual collectible has its own place within this market. You know, we have a place for the more mass appeal products so that we can bring the larger audience in, but there is also a place within this as well for people that want to spend a little bit more money, but also want to collect these more valuable NFTs to invest, to hold long term. And I think that's definitely something we need to sort of think about when we look at this launch and how VEVE are diversifying their sort of their total collectible range, if that makes sense. You know, we've seen 2D art. Okay, we've seen statue style NFTs in the form of Ghostbusters before, but now also in the form of these artists releasing this sort of statue style Dragon Girl launch here that we're seeing here, this more Asian inspired ethnic launch. And I do think this will be huge in Asian countries. And I do think this is also a play to bring sort of a variety of different demographics and audiences around the world into one place. And I hope this is sort of making sense how I'm putting this point forward to you, is that each launch that VEVE do in specific styles caters to a different style of a different person, different demographic, a different audience. And as we can see here, this just further demonstrates that diversity that we're seeing within their ranges. It further demonstrates their ability to cater for multiple different aspects of of collectors and different ranges of interest. And that is super important for a marketplace moving forward. You know, in the word marketplace itself, it's to sell a variety and multiple different styles of stuff. And sometimes I can know, you can feel it in the community. It's like, oh, I don't understand why they're launching stuff like this. But it's so critical for them long term that they do this, that we see a range, that we see a variety. You know, the last thing we want is for the market to get sort of saturated with the same style of NFT. You know, they need to release different cultural NFTs from different artists, from different ranges to different styles and different price points, because that keeps everything fresh. And especially when we see them launch sort of 2 different NFTs in 1 week, I think we'll see them do this time and time again. We'll see 2D art, we'll see statue style collectibles, we'll see more mass appeal collectibles, and I just think it's a really interesting launch, and I'd love to hear what your opinions are on what this is. So let me know in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings behind this launch. I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. It's really different. It caters to me as a collector. You know, I love collecting as a whole. You know, I'm a big collector in Pokemon trading cards, so I can appreciate that kind of alternate style, that unique approach that VEVE are doing here. So I hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope you've learned something from this. I'm really excited about this launch. I'm going to try and get involved with it, but the likelihood is with the exclusivity, I'm probably not going to be able to get into the application. But hey, I'm okay with it. I'll probably have to try and get it on the secondary market as long as it's not too expensive. But thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Please drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you later. Bye.